Hello everyone, we are live from the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve up north in Montreal on the Ile-de-Notre Dame for round 23 of the Blue-Emu Offline Stock Cup Series second season. It's the Quebec 21. We have 42 cars here going to take out only 8 laps around this 2.71 mile road course. And now let's take a look through your starting lineup. On pole is the number 85 Discord Chevrolet Camaro Vincent David. He won at Mosport, the other Canadian road course on the schedule. Could he make it 2 for 2 up north? And to his outside is the number 76 Foxtel Toyota Supra of Noah Clifton. Row 2 sees a pair of Mercedes. It's Roger Gussel making his BOC return next to Seishin Tomioka. Row 3 is another pair of Mercedes in the 86 and Onegin Scott and the 25 of Riley Wilkin. Row 4 is Ryan Llewellyn next to Canadian Neo Stark, and rounding out the top 10 is a pair of Chevys, the 07 of Derek Hamill, the current points leader, next to the 71 of Kaiko Furukawa, making her second BOSC appearance. In row 6 would have been Renan Nisip, but he's going to the rear, and alongside him is fellow Chevrolet Kevin Hulkenberg. In row 7, another car going to the rear in Azul Cielo, and alongside him would have been the Toyota of Zachary DeLillo. Row 8 sees John Davis and Rose Neal. Row 9 is the 13 of Felix Jansen and the 83 of Hollyoko. And rounding out the top 20 is Patrick Starr with Rafik Razana. Row 11 sees the 54 of Theo Splutzer and the 74 of Blake Inaki. Row 12 is Tim Pitch and Chrissy Splutzer. Row 13 is a pair of Toyotas and the 15 of Nelson Rees and the 34 of Ryan Keith. Row 14 is a pair of Toyotas, Najika Kazami and Blair McKenzie making her first start in a long time. And rounding out the top 30 is BOC debutant, the 46 of Ashton Tackwell, and the 58 of Bailey Pendergast. In row 16 we see Wyatt Qualley and Evan Hunter. Row 17 is a pair of Mercedes and the 19 of Jackson Kelsey and the 14 of Devin Fair. Then it is Adam Mitchell and Anderson Reed, a pair of Toyotas. Row 19 is the 89 of John McFadden and the 35 of Leland Hill. Then in rounding out the top 20 is Tommy Rollo and Able to Grow, and rounding out the field, minus the cars going to the rear, is the 17 of Josh King and the 44 of Tari Lowell. So we're going to have 8 laps, so this should be a pretty short race as the cars are rolling. Vincent David's going to lead them to green. He could be going for his, third win on the season. Second on a road course. Noah Clifton looking for his second win on the season as well. And then Roger Gussel looking for his first career win. So is Seishin Tomioka. Nonnigan Scott could potentially get the points lead here if Derek Hamill has a poor race as they come through the final chicane, past the Wall of Champions. So run down to the front straight, and the green flag is out here from Montreal, and it's going to be Riley Wilkin going to look maybe to force 3 wide, but here comes Roger Gussel down the inside. Gussel with a great start. He's going to try to maybe make it around the outside of Vincent David, but it looks like that David's cleared both Clifton and Gussel heading down toward the next chicane. Gussel's going to go to the outside, and he's going to hold the lead heading through here on the initial first lap. Roger Gussel slots into second. Noah Clifton drops back to third. Seishin Tomioka fourth. Nonnigan Scott up to fifth. As you see Derek Hamill and Kaiko Furukawa battling. Hamill needs a good race here if he wants to keep the points lead, and that is not what Hamill needed. He slides wide and into those barrels. We were just saying how Derek Hamill needed a good race if he wants to keep this points lead, and he now has damage on the 07. Now he needs something to happen to Nonnigan Scott. That is the only way now that Derek Hamill can keep this points lead, or he needs to have a drive of his life, and Hamill's not strong on these road courses, so that is potentially devastating for the 07 of Derek Hamill, as now he's going to be put in 3 wide between him, Ryan Keith, and Nijika Kazami, as that is a very disappointing start for that 07 team. an incident last week at Richmond, and then another one here as Vincent David sliding a bit wide there, heading past the Wall of Champions. George Gussel may fancy a move here in a few laps' time. It's heading through to complete lap 1. It's going to be Kevin Hulkenberg into the top 10, alongside his teammate Keiko Furukawa, as Derek Hamill has dropped all the way down the order to 26th. With that damage, Nelson Reeves now all over him, as they're going to go 3 wide further back there. One car almost into the grass. I think that was rookie debutant Ashton Tackwell, who's battling with Bailey Pendergast and Wyatt Qualley. As, one car into the wall. I think that was Devin Fair. Oh, and another car into the wall. That was Josh King. So a lot of cars slapping the wall. Of course, cars are a lot less nimble than the F1 cars that also run around here. So you see Wyatt Qualley with a bit of damage, probably from hitting the wall. So they definitely slide about a lot more through these corners. And it's been evident here on the first few laps. So looking ahead, Vincent David maintaining this race lead. George Gussel, could he possibly try to catch him? Gussel in that new livery for the 63 team. He'll be looking to try to catch Vincent David, but it does not look likely, at least on this lap. One car up here that really needs a good run is that 45 of Ryan Llewellyn. A string of bad luck over the past few races has put his chase hopes in jeopardy. He may be the only Roman speed racing car to miss the chase, but he'll be looking to maybe have a late season push. If he could run well here, that would be a great help. As we look down, Derek Hamill is still in 26th, but he's going to need to really get a move on if he wants to preserve this points lead. As you see Bailey Pendergast and Blair McKenzie going side by side. As we look through the field, Josh King currently sits in last. Vincent David continues to lead as they pass the spot where Hamill went off on the first lap. I think it was just a mixture. I think it was just the cold tires that sent Hamill around into those barrels you see there, as they'll definitely put this race on its head. As the points leader who qualified well is now mired back. But as for up front, not many moves are being made. Vincent David maintaining his advantage up front as we close in on the halfway point, as this is only an 8-lap event. Hasn't been much to report throughout the field. As you see here at the rear, Tari Lowell and Josh King having a battle. Lowell gonna look to the inside, and that's gonna put her up into 41st. So just quick side note, I've noticed now, I'm going out of character here for a second. I've noticed now that I forgot to move the cars back that failed post qualifying inspection, so you're just gonna have to deal with that. Sorry about that. But yeah. Anyway, back to the race. Vincent David continues his reign out front, but has not been able to pull a second gap over George Gussel. Gussel's been managing to hang in there, the road course ace in the Mercedes. Noah Clifton, Seishin Tomioka, and Nonigan Scott have all also been right there, possibly trying to pressure this 85 into a mistake like Hamill had on the first lap. But he's been holding strong. Like we said, won at Mosport, the other Canadian road course on the calendar this season. So he'll be looking to perform the Canadian sweep up north here, and also have gotten all of his wins from pole position. If he can win here, this will be his third win and also his third pole, as he won from pole at Mosport and Walt Disney World. George Gussel, though, looking for his first career BOSC victory, running a part-time schedule for that number 63 Logan Sport Williams team. He'll be looking to possibly get by David and go for the win. He was on pole for most sport, but lost out to Nijika Kazami. For Watkins Glen, but lost out to Nijika Kazami. So he's looking for redemption here, as it'll be a while before our next road course after this. It's now halfway through the race. Vincent David looking unbeatable right now. He currently holds the quickest lap by 0.2 of a second over Nottingham Scott. So we look down the order. There is Derek Hamill. He still managed to hang on to his 20. He's actually dropped to 27th. As you see, Jackson Kelsey has gone by. Kelsey also has damage from hitting the wall, it looks like. So Hamill was about 20 points ahead of Nottingham Scott. And since it's only 1 point difference between positions, if Hamill finishes 20 positions behind Scott, he will lose the points lead. He's currently 27th. Nottingham Scott, as you see on the ticker, currently sits 5th. So if these standings are to be final, Derek Hamill is going to lose the points lead by 2 points to Nottingham Scott. And that will be music to that Sinclair 86 team's ears, as he's currently battling with Seishin Tomioka for 4th. Tomioka, it's just not really gone his way ever since he joined back at Iowa in that number 50 car. He's just had little to no luck, but is finally putting together a good run here, but has second in points Nottingham Scott all over his tail. He looked like that Scott may have tried to make a move, but nothing doing it there. As I head down into the first major braking zone, Nottingham Scott staying tucked right up behind Seishin Tomioka, Riley Wilkin, Ryan Llewellyn. 2 Ryans look like that they may try to join in on this battle for 4th position. As you can see through this circuit, as Nottingham Scott hits the wall, he's going to manage to maintain his position over Riley Wilkin, so he does not lose his 5th place. But this could be a problem for Scott, as Llewellyn's now going to go on Riley Wilkin for that is 6th place, and he's going to get it. So, as I was saying, that could be an issue for Nottingham Scott if he has that damage, but the 86 has been running strong all day, and it doesn't look like that it's affected him too much. So hopefully Nottingham Scott can stay out and keep that 20 position gap, as now here comes the highest Canadian on the grid right now, Neo Stark, down the inside of Riley Wilkin, heading into the hairpin. Kevin Hulkenberg now also waiting in the wings along with his teammate Kaiko Furukawa, but Wilkin gets a better drive off the hairpin, and he'll look like that he'll keep that 7th place at least for now. As looking back up the order, Gussel is starting to really lose out to Vincent David, as he nearly got into the wall of champions there. As with only 2 laps to go, the gap is now 1.5 seconds. So unless David has some sort of slip up, I think George Gussel is going to finish 2nd, and Vincent David is going to be winning this one. So we look down the grid. Looks like that so Derek Hamill looks to have dropped even more. Hamill now down into 32nd. So that 57 is really dropping. And this is not going to be good for Derek Hamill. Even though he's already locked into the chase, he could lose the points lead and the regular season championship. He looked to basically be a surefire candidate to win. But after 2 incidents at Richmond and here at Montreal, that could all be changing. So look further down, Ashton Cackwell, not the BOSC debut that he exactly wanted for that Mitchell Motorsports 46 entry, but he is definitely not a road course winger, so it'll be on to next week for him at Paris, as now here comes one of the tide rides, that is the 14 of Devon Fair on him, and his team owner Adam Mitchell is right behind him in that 80 car. So it looks like that Tackwell may have a bit of damage. Someone may have ran into the back of him, not quite sure who, as Vincent David has taken the white flag, the gap nearly 2 seconds back to George Gussel. So unless the 85 has a mechanical issue, I think it's smooth sailing from here for Vincent David. This win could potentially lock his chase spot, as Derek Hamill did just last week at Atlanta, 2 weeks ago at Atlanta, sorry. So Vincent David will be looking to be the third driver to add to this Season 2 chase. And he will be the third driver to be returning to the BOSC chase, as both Scott and Hamill competed in it last season. So did Vincent David, and it looks like that 3-win season for him is probably going to be enough to get him in, as he only has a few more corners to negotiate. George Gussel about 2 seconds back. I think that he's got this one. Through the hairpin for the final time, and down the long back straight. Gussel not really close. Heading down the straight. George Gussel tried, but he just didn't have anything for him. It's going to be a flag-to-flag domination for the Discord 85 Camaro. Vincent David, he comes around and he sees the checkers. Vincent David wins the Quebec 21 here at Montreal. And it's definitely, that win never looked in doubt, as Nelson Reeves, interestingly, pitting on the final lap. I think he may have had some penalty of some sorts that he needed to serve. But as we look at the final finishing results, Vincent David, your race winner, George Gussel, Noah Clifton, Station Tomioka, and Nonigan Scott round out the top 5. Scott is likely to become your new points leader. Then it's Ryan Llewellyn, Riley Wilkin, Neo Start, Kevin Hulkenberg, and Renan Issip round out the top 10. Kaiko Furukawa, John Davis, Rose Neal, Felix Jansen, Zachary DeLello, Patrick Starr, Azul Cielo, Rafik Razana, Theo Sputzer, Tim Pitch, and Holyoka round out the top half of the field. Then Ganaki, Keith, Kazami, Kelsey, Chrissy Sputzer, Pendergast, McKenzie, Hunter, Qualley. Hamill falls to 31st by the flag. Reed, Rollo, Tackwell, Fair, DeGroat, Hill, Mitchell, McFadden, Lowell, King, and Reeves, who had that pit stop, will all finish. So all 42 cars finish and on the lead lap. So we will see you next week from Paris, as we'll head across the Atlantic for that race. But until then, this has been Ash Jacobson, and we'll see you next time.